1,371 calls so far today. Normal for this time of day.
My son is an alcoholic. He's been out now for well over 24 hours. He's prone to self-harm. We don't know where he is. I think he's somewhere down in Chesterfield. We don't know. He needs help. He needs help.
Okay, no problem at all. Get officers out to you as soon as we can, all right?
NA show 1 Bravo 1 Juliet, stake 6 in Hollywood and searching for this Mr.
He's a 32-year-old male. As I said, we've got some concerns about his mental health, which is why he's been flagged up as being missing by his father.
White male, white shoes, tracksuit bottoms with paint on them, slim build, 5'10".
He does have a history of self-harm also, so if he's near the canal, that's a concern to us that he could be, you know, possibly going to jump in there.
He's been drinking for days and days. Obviously, he's supposed to be next to a canal, so obviously, I know a canal isn't very deep, but potential someone that's been drinking for 3 or 4 days that's unwell anyway, and he's next to open water.
First hour in missing person case is really, really important. They call it the golden hour in the police because it's critical. Time's ticking.
We've got to find him and keep him safe.
So they're at the home address at the moment. He lives with his girlfriend, trying to get some more information about where he could be.
You know, when you've been talking to him, what's he been saying? Has he intimated he's going to hurt himself, or are you just concerned for his welfare?
He's not drunk anything other than alcohol since yesterday morning. He's not eaten anything since yesterday morning. So I'm worried about his health, but I'm also worried if anybody says anything or does anything on the canal or wherever he is. I don't know how he'd react.
Sorry, but the person you called.
No, he's not answering.
Have you got a recent picture of him on your phone? I'm just going to take a picture of it because it's the best way for me, then I've got it out.
That's a handy image, so we can circulate it, obviously, in case he goes to anywhere like train stations and things like that. That would be our next protocol. They like to make sure they cover all bases, get images out to CCTV in the area and things like that so that they can be on the lookout for him. So yeah, fingers crossed.
Who was in the cars? Okay, is anyone injured?
Lads, you need to get down off the roof.
It's been a bit manic now since the clock turned 9 o'clock. It's like they've all come out the woodwork.
Obviously, it does sound like quite a significant fire.
Between 9 and 10, it's a busy time. Knife point robberies, shootings, suspicious deaths. You name it, we can get it.
I'm not aware of any casualties at the moment.
I'm the senior officer in the room. It's my job to make sure we're getting there as quickly as we can to provide assistance to people who are obviously in dire need of help.
There's a group of guys and they jump on this lad and they're battering him.
We've got a job running in Buxton and came in initially as a group of teenagers having a bit of a set to. Officers have now arrived and they've confirmed that there is a man who has a stab wound to his left side of his chest.
What's happened?
Where have you been stabbed? It's early days yet. We're trying to establish how serious this is. So obviously, any time anybody's got stab wounds to the torso, it can be very serious.
It's my responsibility to coordinate our response to all sorts of incidents, and it's up to me to pin everything together.
It's all happening rather fast, and the information we have is that the person that's been stabbed is only 15 years old.
What's his status? What central stab wound is bleeding? We don't know if it's a spleen that's been nicked or it's that side, so potential is there for him. Okay, right.
There's quite a few unknowns at the moment. We don't know what sort of weapon it is we're looking at.
Where's the knife, folks? We need the knife. Is it a serrated knife?
Anybody see what it is?
I seen it. What knife is it? It's like a knife or art.
Obviously concerning as well that we've potentially got people armed with knives who are not afraid to use them. So we're dispatching more resources to go and deal with that.
Yeah, it is the top of that road where the junction with the A6.
We're totally reliant on the information that we get in, a member of the public or an update from an officer at the scene. You do have to think on your feet. It's not even minute by minute, it can be second by second.
Yeah, from Hotel 1 Golf is the person that has allegedly stabbed the victim.
We are asking for checks to be done on the names we've got. Yet received. We've had information from 7-3 that the two subjects are now in a building. So top floor flat, just let us get it up on mapping and we'll see if I-24 have got anything on it. The assumption is that they are both still in possession of those weapons. On the information we've got, they're going to move forward and detain these two.
The time is 9:10 and you're under arrest for being drunk and disorderly in a public place.
So, we'll go through breathalyzer procedure.
We're nearly up to 1,500 incidents today.
There's a friendly cyclist, we'll ask him.
All units attending, we have found a picture of the male, we're going to email them to you.
It's Derbyshire Police again, you're not in any trouble, we just want to make sure that you're okay. Can you give us a ring back, please? Our telephone number's 101.
Excuse me? Mate, we're just looking for a missing person that could be on the canal. Bloke about 30-year-old, wearing tracksuit bottoms and a Gap hoodie. About 32-year-old, slim build, about 5'10", white chap. Not seen nobody on canal. Whereabouts have you come from?
Jim at Staveley.
So you've come that way. I'm going to say, well, they're saying we think it's between Hollingwood Hub and this way, so you've probably come that way, haven't you?
Not seen out on there.
Not seen nobody on there at all. So they've seen nobody on the canal, and he's come the way that we're thinking this lad's been.
The longer it goes on with a missing person case, it can be more worrying for you. It can be people that have lost the job, they lose the partner, they have a breakdown, and then basically they just want to disappear off the system and go away.
I think the best thing is, do you want to go back and drive to Nonna's end and I'll walk it? We can try that, can't we? Right, I'll meet you at Nonna's.
Colleagues at work go missing, you know, that's had problems. People that I know, we're probably more at risk of some of it than anybody else, given what we see and what we deal with.
Kev, Jamie.
So today at 13:37, we received a call from a paedophile hunting team who've set up what they would call a sting on a chap who's travelled up from down south to meet what he thought was a 14-year-old male, who was actually an adult male who's acted as a decoy. And the decoy's called police, they've arrived and locked him up, and he's been brought into custody. When you two are ready, we can look at the live stream video. When you're up. Yeah. Paedophile hunter groups or vigilante groups are certainly a growing trend. It's not uncommon. I've seen 2 or 3 incidents a day.
All right, mate. Can I ask you what you're doing here today? Can I ask you what you're doing here today, fella? I'm online paedophile hunter.
We're here to talk to you about your online sexual activities with children.
Right.
There's certainly a public will for it to happen. It does put strain on police resources, so we're left in a position where we have to respond to it in line with all the other demands that are coming in at that time.
You don't realise how much trouble you're in right now.
Oh, it's not entrapment.
It's not entrapment.
I've not entrapped you in any way, shape or form.
This was on Facebook Live, wasn't it?
Yeah.
This lot of paper here is just your sexual chat. To be fair, fella, you're looking a bit worried. Yeah?
I have a very conflicted view about paedophile hunter groups. These are people who, off their own back, are going out trying to protect their communities. But in other ways, you only have to look in the national media to see when they've quite spectacularly got it wrong, where people have been injured, people have been hurt, and they don't engage in the safeguarding practice that the police do.
I think you need to be explaining this to the police, really, because you are committing offences.
If you look at what he's saying on there, he seems to almost make out like it's a friendly meeting with a 14-year-old, and he's doing him a favour by being almost like a big brother figure.
If you could end it now, please, now we're here. Thanks. Based on the information I've been given at this time, I'm arresting on suspicion of inciting a child for sexual grooming.
We've got a statement from Decoy here. The phone has been seized and the chat logs, I believe, have been exhibited, and they're on the case file. If one of you could check with his local force to see if they've got anything at all that he's known for. And then we'll do some checks, see if he's got kids at home or access to any children in the wider part of the family. While the paedophile hunter groups can draw attention to the paedophiles, it is just the tip of the iceberg for us. The investigation following on from the confrontation is complex, and during that time we have to gather as much as the key evidence as we can and interview the suspect. So the time pressures are huge. You've got a conversation on the Grindr app. When we've looked at the suspect's profile on Grindr, he gives a brief description. It's seeking intimate contact with handsome, intelligent young men, meets, not endless chats. And it's being made clear in the chats by the decoy that he says he's 14, abundantly clear. So the question arises, why would someone travel 100 miles to come and speak to someone if it wasn't sexual?
What we tend to find when we look into the matter further, when we're looking at digital media, so things like phones, tablets and computers, there'll normally be an array of offences.
These are the screenshots of one of the decoy's phones, just a conversation between the offender and the decoy. He's taken pictures and he's sent a couple to...
Oh no, I've not seen that actually.
It's some lad on a sofa in his flat.
The one laid on the sofa?
Yeah. Do you reckon you can age that person?
A young teenage child, I would suggest.
It's not to tell him to... we'd need to look into that to make sure that this lad isn't a potential victim that predates this decoy.
For me, he stays in custody until that lad's been identified and spoken to.
Someone has just peered out of the top window.
Can you just let me go, please? Right. I told you, you're trapping me.
Have you got visual on the address where the subjects live? We're getting some unarmed officers to move forward to support my armed officers who are on the scene. And then obviously on the information we've got, they're going to move forward and detain these two. There will be a contingency for an emergency search.
Well, buddy. When I'm deploying officers to an incident, I'm blind, I'm sat in the control room. You're always concerned for your colleagues' welfare. You're listening intently to every update that they're passing and just hoping and praying that everything's going to turn out right.
Yet received, confirm you are with local and you're now moving forwards towards the flat. So we do...
The responsibility, it does weigh heavily on you. You're fearful for your colleagues, you don't know what they're facing, your heart is in your mouth.
I think we're just getting an update.
I've got an adult male under arrest for wounding.
Yeah, I've copied, thank you. So they've come out, no issues. Yeah, from 7-3 from Sierra 1, confirming you've got the two subjects, no issues with them.
You stand there for me, face the car. I'm just going to search you. Got anything on you at all? You don't think so?
Both males have been detained and they've been arrested at this stage on suspicion of Section 18 wounding with intent.
No pockets, certainly nothing. No jewellery on. No.
We've actually also uncovered a cannabis factory. So it certainly sounds like there's all sorts of things been happening.
Sure, sorry.
Just another day in Derbyshire Constabulary. Who knows what else is going to happen.
All right, we're just looking for a missing person. Probably wearing a baseball cap and dressed quite scuffy today. Because he's not answering his phone at the minute, we don't know where he is.
I haven't seen him for a while, pal. 100% not been in here.
Okay, pal, no probs.
Just give us a bell.
Thanks very much for your time, cheers.
You made me look a dickhead, bro!
We've got 8 people in custody at the moment.
The pussy. Oh, I swear I'll take these cuffs off.
Well, is that not going to go through?
I can't.
You're right.
My head's really dizzy.
So I was just standing there for you, please, Ellie. As a frontline police officer, you have to have an open mind in every single job you go into. But every once in a while, you come across a job that does genuinely make you think, what is going on here? So background to this is we've got a male in custody who's been arrested nearby to a location of a burglary. But quite unusually, he's been present in the property when the householders come back. As he's exited the house, they've grabbed their mobile phone and taken a few quick photos of him. These were taken by the householder, so as she's walked in the front door, he's been walking down the stairs.
So the person that's taken the photograph is the person who's the victim? Right, okay.
And obviously at this point he's thrown the high-vis jacket on over the top. And then they've managed to get a quick snap of his face as well.
Okay.
And then he's been detained nearby by ARV.
So we've got a really good chain of continuity then, haven't we?
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
like he's all of a sudden, you know, if he uses the excuse of, oh, I found this and I was picking it up and taking it somewhere, for example.
Well, the photograph
he's been seen to leave the premises, he's wearing it, and he's been followed to then cops get him a few minutes later.
Yeah.
So it's quite a good job in theory.
Yeah.
Right, are you going to be calm? Well, you're not, because you're tensing up.
I've never seen a job quite like this where you get photographs. Feels a bit odd that he's not got any previous, because normally with somebody who commits burglaries, they've committed some other kind of like, you know, similar offending beforehand. So it's almost like he wanted to be caught. That's the best way I'd describe it.
Mate, right, listen, we need to explain your rights to you, okay? We need to make sure that you understand it. Okay, so can we do that in English and you understand it? Right, and then obviously you can go and relax back in your cell then, and we don't have to stand like this.
They've actually recognised certain items from the house that belong to them, and that's not because they're slung over his arm. He's actually wearing them at the time that he's walked out. It's a really unusual one, to be fair.
Do you want a solicitor?
Released from their care?
Yeah.
No? We're going to put him back in his cell then. Go on, mate. Copy of his rights there, mate.
Are they his boxers and his socks?
That he's discarded at the scene. That's not
very
normal.
Strange. So rather than him putting the victim's clothes over the top of his own, he's taken his own clothes off and put their clothes on. Yeah, it says here, I hadn't read that far along. He's then left all of his clothes, including pants and socks, in the bedroom, and then his boots in the dining room downstairs.
So he's taken a full change of clothes out of the house.
Yeah. All of his DNA is going to be all over his clothes.
I thought a lighter was one thing, but socks, pants.
Pants will definitely have some DNA on.
That's going to have something, isn't it? It's not going to be nice DNA either. The way he's presented, we believe he's homeless. It may well be a cry for help. It may well be he's carried out this offence in such a brazen way that he just wants some assistance from the system, and that could well be why he's kind of like gone in and done it in such a ridiculously in-your-face way, and then made absolutely no attempt to hide himself afterwards. I mean, to the extent of putting on a high-vis jacket.
In a minute, mate, to see the nurse, all right?
That's not the behaviour of somebody, for me, who wants to really get away with something.
So rather than you put yourself in any danger, you don't know what they're going to do you? So it's best if you retrieve now.
So he's claiming someone's keeping him hostage in this country and took his passport, is that correct?
What's happening?
Right, go and for you then, will
Are you the owner of the pub? Are they there now? Okay, how many people was it? Is it one male? So what has he done? Is he fighting with somebody or has he just smashed a window? Yeah, I understand. Calm down. It's all right. I'm going to get somebody to you, but you need to shut your doors and lock your doors and don't let people go out and antagonise him. You say he's drunk. Obviously, he's looking for a fight, but keep everybody away from him and we'll get officers down there, all right?
Silver Ghost in Alveston, one male's trying to fight another male and he smashed the window of the pub, and there's a description. At the moment he's still outside, so fingers crossed he's still there when we get there. Description is camo shorts, short brown hair, 6'2" male. That's all we've got at the moment. Apart from that big one there. Yeah, it's this dude here, look, he's coming to us. Mate. Whoa, 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 whoa. Back up, back up, back up, back up.
It's all right, look, listen.
No, mate. Mate.
Just you calm, he's been fine with us. Come out of the way.
Right, so why listen, come over. Why are you coming over to me? Let go of us. Why did you just stay out of the way? Move away. No, I'm talking to him, not to you. Because he ran at me. He ran. Yeah, he did. I came out the door and he ran at me. Right, what's happened? Well, we've been called for a reason, so something must have happened.
I don't know.
What's your name, mate?
I don't want to say.
Have you been involved in something that's happened tonight?
No.
So what did you come running at me for? Because I wasn't even out the door, was I? And you came bombing at me. So that didn't look great.
I don't know, I do apologise.
No, that's fine. But why did you do it? There must have been a reason. Oh, wait up, don't fall over. What's happened?
I don't know. You know what, tonight I do not know what's just happened.
Right, okay.
So he went behind the bar when none of the bar staff were there. He went behind the bar and helped himself to a pint. So one of the regulars went, whoa, 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 what are you doing? So then he walked outside, thought everything was calm. 2 seconds later, comes charging back in, going for the guy that told him to pack it in. He smashed the bar window, which is this door here, and then they've had to drag him out and he's just refusing to leave.
Right, Paul?
Right, you've had a lot to drink, haven't you, tonight?
Of course, yeah.
Have you been here since work? Since you finished work, even? Yeah? Oh, stand up. You're going to fall over, aren't you?
The smashed glass in there, they're saying that you've done it, is that right?
Smashed the glass.
Glass pane in a door.
A glass, oh, so it's a glass pane?
The glass pane in a door. Well, definitely. Listen, mate, this is what they've said. So at this moment, you're under arrest on suspicion of criminal damage. You don't have to say anything. May harm you defend if you do not mention when questioned something to align in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. Your arrest is necessary for a prompt and effective investigation, OK? Let's just get you near them. Watch your head, watch your head, watch your head, watch your head. In my experience, there are often unseen motives behind people's behaviour, and you can meet some person one day and they can be absolutely vile, incredibly violent, incredibly verbally abusive towards you. This is not going to help your cause, is it?
You're right.
He needs to go in the back of the van, he's just undone his seatbelt. Speak to them next day when they're sobered up and they can be nice as pie.
Good. All right. Silly.
I'm saying. People have got problems, haven't they? People have got their own issues. We've all got our own issues that affect how we behave, our upbringings, everything.
We've got it.
No, take them off him.
It's 9:30 and it's very busy.
When was the last time you saw him, mate?
The officer's going to search you to make sure that we've got everything we need.
Yeah.
There isn't a set profile for someone who does this kind of behaviour. It can come from anywhere. It can be people with families, people with respectable jobs, people on the outside would be really successful. It's not the stereotypical image somebody would have of a paedophile.
Hey Rachel, it's Jamie from PPU, you alright? There's mention of this suspect having contact with another lad. We've got a safeguarding issue with it because we're struggling to identify who this person is. If we can do anything to find out where he lives, just so we can get Bobby's round to do a safe and well.
Hello, it's just some car. Section 18, has that been done on his car? Oh, an iPad? Oh, right, okay. Have they both been seized? Excellent. Oh, Christ, yeah. What are we going to do about that? Because we can't leave it there. Do you think we should have it recovered? Because if it gets further damaged. Okay. Cheers, mate. His car has mysteriously now got some flat tyres. Some people have decided to take things into their own hands and cause some damage. So I've told them to just get it recovered, otherwise it's going to get burnt out. We have a duty, obviously, to care for the suspect. When the vigilante groups live stream the suspect, that could create a target for individuals who seek to get some retribution. So we have to ensure that their safety is maintained, as well as dealing with any offences they've committed.
I think in terms of the investigation, what we're going to struggle with, and the most troubling thing is that it almost seems like this is a person who's quite careful and quite considerate in terms of how the police may view the messages. It's almost like he's tentatively trying to edge the decoy down a road in terms of engaging in sexual conversation without overtly doing it. So it's almost a bit more calculating. In terms of the interview, obviously that can make it slightly more challenging because he'll be very aware of the kind of the method that we might use to probe him. So I wouldn't be surprised if we actually get an account that is somewhat believable without proper challenging.
Lovely, we're just on our way across now. Lovely, thank you very much. Cheers and thank you, bye-bye. Go in and do what you do best and get him in a conversation. Take your personal feelings out of it and probe what he says and challenge where appropriate.
I don't think I've ever had anyone cough one of these.
No. Neither I. It's always a first, though.
Yeah. Could happen.
Hello, buddy. Have you consumed any alcohol?
Yeah, a lot.
Do you feel drunk?
No, good, yeah.
You're coming across as quite drunk, but I mean, you're all right. You seem to understand what's going on.
But yeah. Shit.
Okay. And while you're here, would you like to speak to a drug alcohol referral worker?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever been in the armed forces? Have you ever been in the army or anything like that?
Yeah.
You have. What were you in?
Infantry.
How long were you in forces?
13 years.
It's a long time, isn't it? Long time. Everything okay since you've left and stuff? Or?
Oh, the last 3 years. Shit.
It's not easy adapting, is it?
Dog shit.
Yeah. Just strikes me that he's having a bit of a rough time of it. He was quite emotional, he was a bit upset, he seemed of a low mood. He's recently come out of the armed forces. I kind of understand the mentality of the people in those organisations. I was in the Royal Air Force, and I think it can be difficult when you come away from that and you don't have it anymore. Might need a bit of an arm around him, but he'll never admit it. So. As soon as he's not quite as drunk as he is at the minute, my plan is to get him interviewed and get him gone, really. Mate, obviously you were getting a bit emotional when you get in, I get that. Just give us a buzz if you need help, but come down for a chat. All right. Take care, buddy. All right.
A load of folk here, look. Let's go and show them the picture. Excuse me. Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. We've lost a man.
Yeah, we've just had someone shout oi at us something now.
Just had someone shouting at us.
Yeah.
I could see a black figure, and then something shouted oi out of nowhere. And asked me if I could see it. I said, yeah. And then I was walking back.
Whereabouts on Canal were you?
We was just a bit further off. There's a boat.
Yeah.
We was past the boat. And we were a bit further past that.
Right.
He shouted oi, and then someone from across that way then.
Are you going home? Yeah. You'll be safe. You go home then. And we're going to have a look now.
See ya.
I wonder if that's going to be him then. Nothing going on but the rent. I'll jump out. We'll jump out and have a quick look up and down, best we can.
Oh, just leave it here, there's no one coming.
The problem is the paths go everywhere in all directions, so ideally you're relying on a dog walker or a cyclist coming past to see, have they seen him? Don't me to go down that one and you go to that end and start from that end and back.
We're going to have to, aren't we?
When there's a missing person and it's dropping dark, that changes everything for us. In the day, there'll be dog walkers, cyclists, there'll be people out and about somewhere that you can ask. But that person is still out there, so you're always worrying, thinking the sun's coming down and you're up against the clock. I don't know how bad it's going to get down here. Sometimes, you know, you may end up finding the body. Maybe that there's some suggestion that this person's in this wood and they've gone to hang themselves. You know, when you're the one to find that person, it's not nice. It's just pitch black, isn't it? It's like a needle and haystack, isn't it?
A couple of kids have just said they've heard someone shouting in a field at them, but they've ran off scared. But we're just none the wiser at the moment. We're just at a bit of a loose end. It's just too much to search. It's pointless us just walking around. We need a helicopter. If it can pick a heat source off, you know, somewhere within 50 metres of this canal path, we'll go and have a look. Thanks, boss. Helicopter is being requested. So I've explained the situation, that it's a needle in an haystack. Where we are at the minute, I've said he's going to do himself some harm. He doesn't know where he is, he needs his medication, so he's going to review it, and he's going to get back to us.
So we've had a report of a security man at a recycling centre saying he's witnessing on CCTV a male stealing tools off the site.
Unit's searching for this intruder. The male is still on site and he hasn't moved equipment now. I think he's been there previously and stolen some tools.
There are 2 other units on the way to this incident as well.
Yeah, so CCTV have said he's just wandering around on the site. They get through a hole in the fence at the back of the river.
If there's a report of a crime, then our priority is to get there. It's extremely time critical. It's absolutely vital that we get there on the scene and we determine what's happened.
It can be a matter of seconds between the time that we pull up and he gets away. So we've got to try and cut him off.
You can get a bit of an adrenaline rush when you go into a scene, and it can be quite satisfactory when you catch somebody at a scene.
Are you sure he's in that box that you wrote?
Yeah, this bit runs up to the bridge. I've done it before. Down here. I'll go.
When I'm in pursuit, I am extremely keen. I'm not the fastest runner, but I will not stop. Until we can pursue him no more, we will continue to try and catch somebody.
currently on the Derwent riverside where the trees are. There's a gap between the two fences. So he's got to be around somewhere. I've got a description if you're ready.
Go ahead.
16-year-old male with a green raincoat / hoodie. He's wearing blue sports trousers and blue gloves. He's got a small moustache.
Wonder if that was where they've gone in previously.
Yeah, probably is,
bend
isn't
that
it?
back so they've put something in front of it.
They've had an update to say they believe that he's hiding in some bushes. So there's a good chance that if he is anywhere around here and we're mistaken, he could pop out anyway.
Is it all just scrap?
Yeah. Yeah, scrap.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
2 boxes of scrap.
We definitely think he's gone rather than still in there. Okay.
They've located the blue box full of tools and the lads legged it and left it. So the likelihood is he's gone.
What are you thinking? You thinking he's left and gone on to the house and bar before you got there, or do you think he's been inside?
Yeah, we think he's left on there.
3 Tango, give me a minute. I can just get over this fence and then we'll make a way. It can be disheartening at times. It does hurt my pride a little bit, but that's why I do this job and determined to catch them next time.
Lost him.
We keep going, we keep going. So there's a good many routes he could have gone down. There's no sign of him. So we were literally minutes behind him according to the call for service. So yeah, it's very frustrating because he'll come back, he will.
Simi, we're back.
Good. Have you got on?
Yeah, fairly standard and expected. Prepared statement and a no comment interview. Gave nothing.
What did you say about the chat logs?
Went through them in quite a bit of depth and just offered nothing. Nothing whatsoever, no comment all the way through.
Well, in relation to the young lad who we suspected was 15, he's 17. I've managed to find out where he lives and some other details from him. So we haven't got the need to go and dash out, but we will go around and see historically if there's anything that comes out there, but we can do that tomorrow now. We're not in a position at the moment where we can go to the Crown Prosecution Service. We do not have all the evidence. We've got an iPad, a phone, and we don't know yet what we're going to get from his address. All them devices will need examining. The suspect hasn't admitted it, so potentially we're going to be put to proof in court. So from this point on, we're building a case, and that will take some time. It's not, unfortunately, a quick win, but to do it properly takes time, and that's what we do.
It's just gone really dark, unless you see his phone light up or something. I'm just really struggling.
I've had a further call from the girlfriend stating that she's upstairs and she believes he's returned to the property.
I think she's at the house.
So we've now got officers just travelling back quickly just to ascertain if he is actually back in the property or not.
His partner's been in touch. She's in the shower and she thinks she's turned back up at the house. So we're just hot-footing it there now.
Tell me which turn it is, I can't remember.
Keep going. The next left, just somewhere.
It's just after these, isn't it?
Turn right.
Clear.
Then, turn left.
Who's that there?
That's not him, is it?
You have arrived.
He's here. Hey up. You alright, pal? When you do find a missing person, the job's not over. It's another phase. The most important thing is their welfare. Let's go inside. Everybody's been out looking all night. The helicopter was just about to come from Cambridge to start searching the canals and stuff. Well, don't be sorry, you know. There's a reason, isn't there? You know, things have happened in your life and, you know, you've had some problems, haven't you, and stuff.
We're not here to pass judgment, mate. We're only here to make sure you're all right. And that's the main thing. You're still safe and well. You're still in one piece, aren't you?
How much you had to drink?
Today, 2 bottles of wine.
Right, and where did you sleep last night?
Just let it go.
Was anybody at the minute looking after you, as in your medical problems and your mental health and stuff?
No.
No. Where do you see yourself? Where do you want to be? Do you want to get better or do you want to carry on?
Oh God, no, I don't want to carry on.
What's your plan? What do you think you're going to do?
I think some sort of intervention required.
Yeah, definitely. You need to sort it because you're just going to ruin your relationship as well, aren't you, carrying on like this? You've got a cracking missus who's really concerned about you and stuff. You can't just carry on like this because it's all lot's going to slip through your fingers, isn't it? Right, we'll leave you in peace.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry. You've got nothing to be sorry about. You've got nothing to be sorry about, yeah? Right, good luck, yeah? The thing for us when it turns out well is when they've been found and you can get them and you can speak to them and have an understanding, and they can open up to you and tell you a bit, and you think, I think I've got somewhere here, I think I've done my job, you know, they've engaged, they're going to take up some support. And then months down the line you've checked and they've never gone missing again. So you think, do you know what, I think I probably did something good that day. I mean, it's a real good feeling. Then without knowing, you can be on to your next case just like that. Click at fingers, move on. Next job comes in, off you go. First things first is find that Domino's pizza.
Hello, Derbyshire Police.
Violent, taking